Typical, isn't it? Right, let me just try again. It's not letting me log in. Why not? Maybe there were too many people trying to access it at the same time. Brilliant. I'll try one more time. I know, I'll go to a new page. Let's see if that makes a difference. I'm sure it won't, but you never know. That's the great thing about doing things live. You never know. Oh, there we are. I'm in now. Okay. Right, let's go here then. 51 items. So we've done what? 51 items in about 5 minutes. Right. So it's saying, yeah, right. This is important. Right. So you can see here it says share. Now that's because it's private. So you can set it up as a private collection, which is absolutely what I would recommend in a school situation. But if I want to share it, if I click edit collection, can you see here, top right, it says private. If I want to share it with everyone now, I can make it unlisted or public. So I can make it unlisted. Then if I click done, now it says share. Can you see? So if I click share, you can see I can share it directly to Google Classroom, which is really nice for creating an assignment automatically. I can share it straight to Microsoft Teams. I can tweet about it, or I can just share the link right now. So if I just share the link right now, like that, you will be able to click on that. And again, you do not need to have an account. So just be very clear. If you want to use this with students, I would recommend keeping it private and telling them that they don't give the code to anybody else. If you want to share it either privately or publicly, you need to make it unlisted or public. If it's public, presumably it could be found in a Google search, not if it was unlisted. So if you wanted to post I think in a Google Classroom situation or similar, Microsoft Teams, I would simply say, this is the code for the Wakelet. Use it now to log it, to add the code so you can access the Wakelet. I wouldn't give them the link unless you wanted to share that with teacher friends based on resources that you found. Hopefully that makes sense. Any other questions before we move on to the next tool? But thanks ever so much for that. Those contributions. That was really cool. Okay. No one else wants to say, is this like this? Is it like that? Right, so Eric's asked, how long can we access? Do you mean the Wakelet? I presume it's as long as it has that the unlisted rights. So if I change that, I mean, I'm more than happy to leave this permanently in my account. It's fine. I mean, obviously this is just a demo, but I suppose if people want to carry on adding content to it, I'm more than happy to leave it there. Yeah, that's fine. So it's as long as the person who creates it makes it available for. The difference between the code and the link. So the link is when it's either public or unlisted, so people can see it, but they can't contribute to it unless they have the code. Hopefully that makes sense. Can we set time or schedule event for Wakelet? I have no idea, but that's a good Twitter question to ask. So as I've said, it won't appear in a Google search engine if you make it unlisted, but it probably would if you make it public, similar to a YouTube clip as well. Works in the similar ways. Yes, you use it to collect resources, exactly. Yeah, we're going to carry on if that's okay, but thank you ever so much for all these questions. Just familiarize yourself with it and you'll be absolutely fine. Right, let's go back. Well, that went really well. I was really pleased with that. That's good. Right, the next activity is whiteboard.fi. This is a really, really cool activity that you can do in no time at all. It doesn't require any registration on behalf of either the teacher or the students, which is really cool. And the whiteboards that you create are all deleted automatically within 2 hours of you setting them up. And you can close the session at any time, at any point as well, while you're taking part in the session. So before I show you how this works, I want to just quickly bring up a link, which hang on, I thought I had a link there. Let me just check. I have got a link. It was out. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly copy this link into a new tab. As you can see, I've got 1 or 2 tabs open, but I've got 16 gigs of RAM, so it's all good. Right. So just to make it a bit more focused on English language teaching, these are some resources I'm sure you've seen before, the Teaching English website that the British Council leads and organises. And there's a primary lesson plan here all about my sea creature. So you can see if you scroll down, some of these materials are designed to be used face-to-face, and some of these materials are designed to be used online. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through an example of how you could use some of this content around sea creatures in an online situation. You don't need to see this link right now. Well, I could, if you really want me to, I can share the link with you in the chat. It's not a problem. Let me just share it with you right now so you can have a look at it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on the one that says online lesson class materials. Okay. So I'm clicking on that, and you'll see that they've used the same template that I've been using in my session right now. So this is a PDF. If I scroll down, you can see, my sea creature, have you got your pictures? Show them to the camera. Clearly there's instructions we've not been through yet, but you get the idea, right? Listen to your teacher, put your hand up if you know what animal it is. Now, you can see here, classic sort of early language learning technique that we're hiding some of the objects which are on the screen. These are all sea creatures. Who can guess what they are? So I could be doing this live. So you could say, for example, someone could put their hand up, raise their hand on the Zoom screen, and I could say, right, Bob, can you please tell me what the middle picture is? Or they could say, oh, I think the top right is a jellyfish, or whatever it might be. Or you could do that within the chat as well if you don't want them to appear on their webcam. So if we go further down, this is the reveal bit. After the hide bit, we've now got the real reveal bit. And as you can see, these are all sort of classic sea creatures. So with that in mind, we're now going to go back to my presentation, which I'm now going to present again. And I'm going to show you how we can use Whiteboard.fi in the context of this British Council resource. So if I click here, right, you can see this is what the web page looks like, whiteboard.fi. I love how simple this is. This is incredible. So I'm going to click on new class, okay? I'm going to put in my name like this, okay? And I'm going to click create new class like that. And here we've now got a link, right? So if I copy that and I put it in the chat for you like that, and I'm going to do this live as well on my iPad. So I'm going to go, I'm going to go to the same link. So all you need is the code whiteboard.fi / and then the code is Y for Y. Okay. And to make it nice and simple for everybody, what I want you to do, please, is I want you to draw a picture of a ferocious shark. Okay. So don't choose any other sea creatures, just a ferocious shark. We'll all compare our very scary, ferocious sharks with each other. Okay. Make sure you put the right code in, Aliyah. It's whiteboard.fi / Y for Y. So let me put that in the so it's Y for Y. There we are. Or you can put in the whole link, which is here. So all you need to do is click join class, and then you'll be able to start drawing. Now, the way it normally works, wow, is that supposed to be a ferocious, ferocious shark? It's a heart. It's a heart, Ariana. It is a bit like Jamboard, but with Jamboard, just to be very clear, the way this works is you are seeing your picture on your own screen with this one. But then if I'm sharing my screen as the teacher, you can then see everyone's picture all in one place. Whereas with Jamboard, you can see everyone's drawings on your tablet or your computer. The nice thing also about Jamboard is you can have multiple slides. So you could, for example, add groups of, say, 4 students to one slide and then get them to then collaborate together and draw together. Because if you have 30 students all trying to draw on the same slide, it will become very chaotic, I think. Yeah, so Stefan, you'll be I'll be sharing the presentation link with you at the end of the presentation. I've already shared it with you already, actually, the short URL, but you'll get everything at the end. So I would love you to draw me some pictures now, everybody. At the moment, we've got some sharks appearing. Oh, that's a very ferocious shark, Jerome. Well done. That's quite a cute little goldfish, isn't it, Jessa? No, it's a sort of, obviously it looks a very very ferocious shark. So I'll just give you a bit more time. Clearly, if we have hundreds of people all trying to draw together, it might slow it down a little bit. But there we are. So the class code again is Y for Y. There we are. And to submit it, you just you draw your picture. Let me do a shark myself. Hang on, and then I'll go through exactly what you need to do. So there we are. My shark's not very good, actually. Never mind. Oh, that's a terrible shark, actually. Never mind. Let me start again. Where's the eraser tool? There we are. Oh, there we are. Let me start again. That was a terrible shark. So what I'm doing is I'm actually drawing on my iPad as well while I'm in the live session. So let's go for that one, and it's there we are. Awful sharp, but never mind. Right. So then from there you tap. All right, actually that'll appear on the screen, won't it? I think mine will appear on the screen, or it will somewhere. Okay, so you logged into the whiteboard. You then have the whiteboard canvas in front of you, and you simply draw the picture, and then it will then start to appear on the big screen. Because there are hundreds of people trying to do this at the same time, that's why it's taking a long time for that to happen. You can also write text as well, but obviously the idea of this is to draw a picture. Yeah, so you can see, and again, you'll be able to see some pictures. As you can see, as I scroll down, some pictures are starting to create. When I've done this with a smaller group, it works absolutely fine. It's just the fact that there were lots and lots of people all trying to draw at the same time. Okay, so if your pen is white, you need to then tap. Well, it shouldn't be, by default, it should be black, I think. But if you tap where it says stroke, you tap on that option, you can choose whatever color you would like. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, so with a smaller group, this will work seamlessly. It's just the fact that we have a lot of people all taking part at the same time. Right, you haven't got tools to draw on my whiteboard. Okay, so on the left-hand side, you should have a toolbar with all the different drawing tools. You don't need to submit it, Liliana. It should just appear automatically. So there's not a button to submit. It should just appear automatically. What I suggest you do is you have a play with this at home with a couple of devices and see how easy it is for it to work. It's just the fact that, I mean, it's great that we've got hundreds of people taking part, but just, yeah, you don't need to submit it. It does it automatically. Yeah. So the idea of this, to me, for a language teacher, is you're then going to be interactive, a bit like with Mentimeter, but with drawings. You're then going to be reacting and saying, oh, that's an interesting picture, Bob. Tell me a bit more about your ferocious shark. Yeah, so the idea is for you to draw a ferocious shark. Yeah, that's what I've asked you to do. Right. You don't need to submit it. It does it automatically. Okay. Okay. Let's see. I can see a few questions have come up in the Q&A. Let's have a quick look. So, right. Is Wakelet similar to Daigo? Yes, it is a bit similar, but Daigo, I don't even know if Daigo still exists, but Wakelet is very nice and gives you lots of possibilities. Right. Wakelet for teaching purposes. Okay, so using Wakelet for teaching purposes, great for promoting independent study. So, for example, you could collect a whole set of links around a certain topic for, say, advanced learners, and then give them that one link so that you're not asking them just to go out and find resources for themselves. You're giving them links that you found for them, or you could create a collection that they contribute to as well, and then base your activities around those links. So it could be a YouTube clip whereby you turn that into a listening comprehension, whatever you want to do, essentially. Right. Okay, I think those are all the questions so far. Got 13 new messages. Okay, so I can see that some of the pictures are turning up, not some of them aren't. So I will just refresh the page, see if that makes a difference. Ah, there we are. That's better, isn't it? Wow, that's very ferocious there. Geez. Okay. There we are. That's a bit better, isn't it? Yeah. So I can start to see all your ferocious sharks. Great, great stuff, everyone. Okay, now there isn't the option to print, or sorry, to save all the pictures all in one go. So a little trick that I would suggest is if you do a search for, in fact, let me just show you. It's called Cute PDF Writer. Cute PDF Writer. Here we are. And this is completely free. It's this one, free download there, Cute PDF Writer. I've already installed this. So it means that if I go to here and I click, I'm in Chrome at the moment. If I click on the three dots, let me just refresh the page again, just see if there's any other pictures that are going to come up. Okay. So if I click on the three dots and I click print, I'm not going to choose my Epson printer. I'm going to choose Cute PDF Writer. It also says save as PDF, which I think is the default option in Chrome. If you click Cute PDF Writer, I can now print. Let me just do that again. I can now print what's on the screen. Oh, there we are. Can you see it says print now at the bottom? I can click print, and what that will do is it will generate a PDF of all the pictures, which should in a moment appear in as a download. I'm not sure what's happened to that, but it's probably on my desktop actually. But I'm not going to show you my desktop right now because it's very untidy. But that definitely works. I've done that many times before. So that's how you make a PDF print off of your whiteboard. So there we are. So that's a way in which you can use a whiteboard.fi to promote speaking practice around a resource on the British Council website. So hopefully, I'm sorry you can't all see all your pictures, but if we had fewer people in the room, it would be fine. Let's just have a quick scroll through. Look at these ferocious sharks. Aren't they scary? Absolutely fabulous. Yeah. So that's it. And completely for free. And if you wanted to close the room at any moment, all you'd have to do is you click on the cog. As I said, it automatically closes after 2 hours. But if you click on the cog, you can see I could hide names, I can clear all whiteboards, and I can close the room. So I don't think, let's have a look. No, I could delete. Okay, so I can click on an individual picture and I could erase that individual picture or delete that individual picture. So if someone were to post something inappropriate, I could tap on it and I could delete that for you. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Let's carry on as time is ticking on. Let's go on to the next one. Right, okay. Now, just in the chat, can you just let me know if you know Seesaw? And yes, it is similar to Google Classroom and Padlet and all the rest of it, but it does things which are very cool as well. I don't know if you can retrieve a deleted one, I'm not sure, but it's only supposed to be something quick and easy. It's not supposed to be something that's permanently there for whiteboard.fi, so I'm not sure. You'd have to have a play with that. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to show you Seesaw. So Seesaw is a bit like Facebook, but it's designed to be used in education. A lot of teachers are using it at the moment in a remote teaching context. So essentially you have like a feed like you do with Facebook. You post things to that feed. You can add classes. You can set it up so it works on one-to-one devices or on shared devices. They've published some home codes as well, so that you can give those out to the students. It's private. You can have a public blog if you want to. It's really, really nice. It's popular at primary and at secondary school level. If you just do a search for Seesaw, you'll find more information. There's Seesaw ambassadors that you can connect with on Twitter. There's a Seesaw Facebook group. And the thing that I particularly like is the new Chrome extension, which I'm going to demonstrate right now. And let's see where it is. Yeah, right. Okay. So I thought I would bring up this page here, which, as you can see, yeah, it is a bit like Edmodo. Okay, so just have a look at it right now. But this thing that I'm going to show you right now is not like Edmodo, right? So this is a lovely picture of the ITEL. I'm not sure if it's the committee or it's an event or what have you. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click here, which is Post to Seesaw, which is a Chrome extension, right? If I click on this right now, it says capture visible area or capture selected area. So I'm going to click capture selected area. I'm now going to drag across the screen. Like, oh, hang on, that didn't. that wasn't right. Let me go do that again. Hang on. Let's do that again. Right. So I think I think the mouse was not behaving as it should have done. Right. Let me do that one more time. So, hang on. Let me delete that. It's because my mouse keeps. Let me focus and concentrate. Right. So let's just delete that. Exit. Right. We'll go back. Right. I'm using a wireless mouse and it's not behaving. Right. Here we go. Let's do it again. Right. So post the seesaw, capture selected area. So in other words, any picture or any text that you have on the day. Okay. We'll just leave it like that. You can imagine. For some reason, it's slipping at the moment. Right. So if I click, could not be recovered. Okay, let's give it. Okay, there we are. That's the picture. So what I've done is I've selected. It is a bit tired, the mouse, I think. I've selected a part of a web page, which could be a picture, could be some text, and here I've got the microphone option. Okay, so if I click on the microphone, I'm going to start recording right now. Here we go. Okay, so I'm recording right now, and you can see top right of the screen is the timer is going up. I'm now going to click on the, I'm going to use this one, I think, this pen tool, and I'm just going to highlight someone here, and someone here. And I could give a description of that person or those people. I could take a Google map and I could add that into Seesaw, and I could then annotate over the top of the Google map. Maybe if I'm teaching a lesson around, say, directions, saying, right, to go to the post office, go straight on, turn right, and go over the roundabout. Or if in this situation, this could be a family scene, and I could be describing my family, for example. So I'm going to press pause now. I could now click here if I wanted to, and I could click again. I could click erase drawing. So if I do that, what happens is it gets rid of all the annotations. I can then carry on. I could press the record button again because it's paused at the moment, and I could do some more annotations. So you get the idea. Seesaw essentially, or this particular part of Seesaw, is you can either draw with a blank background, if you wanted to create a screencast for explaining a grammar point or what have you, or this, I could take an image, which I could upload from my my device. But what I like about the Seesaw Chrome extension is the way that you can just grab something from a page and put it straight into Seesaw, and everything that you record, everything that you capture is all recorded. So in other words, your voice, the annotations, and the picture as well. So if I now click done, like this, and I can listen back to it, if I click play. Okay, so I'm recording right now, and you can see top right of the screen is the timer is going up. I'm now going to click on the, I'm going to use this one, I think, this pen tool, and I'm just going to highlight someone here, and someone here. And I could give a description of that person or those people. I could take a Google map and I could add that into Seesaw, and I could then annotate over the top of the Google map. Maybe if I'm teaching a lesson around, say, directions, saying, right, to go to the post office, go straight on, turn right, and go over the roundabout. Or if in this situation, this could be a family scene, and I could be describing my family, for example. So I'm going to press pause now. There we are. Okay, I saw that someone asked in the chat, can you download this video? Yes, you can. Now, if I click on the little tick there, because I've only got one person in my class, which is the demo class, I'm just going to add it to myself. But what you'd have normally here is you'd have a list of names. So you then either assign what you've done to the whole class or to individuals. Okay. So if I now upload that, now here it is, and you can see that underneath that video is a comment option. So if I click comment, I could write, for example, great job, Joe, or great job, and click post. Right. So that's a text comment, but also you have the possibility of clicking comment, and you've got a little microphone there. So I can leave an audio comment, which is what I'm going to do right now. So I click the button to begin recording. Well done, Joe. Fantastic job there describing those three people in that picture. isn't Seesaw a fantastic tool for publishing multimedia in a private space, which is also moderated, and how to leave written or audio feedback? Right, so that's now processing. I can listen back to it. Well done, Joe. Fantastic job there describing those. Okay, I click the tick, and you can see that that's now appeared there. So by default, the teacher can leave comments on all the students' work, but the teacher has to enable the option if the teacher wants students to give comments to each other. Okay. At no point can a student send a private comment to another student. Everything is moderated, and the teacher can set it up so that the students only see their own work, not everyone else's work as well. Here, if you click on Get Home Learning Codes, that will also give you the option to so the students only get to see their own work in this current situation, which is parents were asking for from Seesaw, and that's why that was done. If I now click Save, you click on the three dots here. If I click Save, then what will happen is it creates what's called a WBM file. But I think I'm right in saying that if you do it on the Android or the iOS version, it will make an MP4 file, which you may prefer. So you can download the video, but with a WEBM file, you might have to convert it as well. Yeah, so in relation to GDPR, if you do a search for GDPR for Seesaw, then you'll find that they have a privacy policy around that. So all these tools that I'm showing, I always recommend that you always do a search for GDPR plus the name of the tool. But certainly when I've done that in the past, there is a GDPR policy for Seesaw. So it goes without saying, I wouldn't show any of these things unless that was the case. Brilliant. So hopefully that's given you a little introduction to Seesaw. So I could, for example, if I just click the plus icon here, post student work, I could just do a drawing straight away. I could record a video. I could take a photo. I could upload something. But I particularly like that Chrome extension because of how easy it is to use and how it can be used in that way. Right. So let's carry on. Oh, this is going to be a lot of fun. Right. I'm just going to show you how this works now. This is Quizzes, which is similar to Kahoot. And I'm going to click Play Live. And I'm going to click Continue. And right, so Quizzes is a bit like Kahoot. What I'd like you to do now, please, is go to joinmyquiz.com, which is what I'm going to do. No, I won't do it on my device. I'll just wait for you to do that. So go to joinmyquiz.com and put in the code 557683. So I'll put that in the chat for you. 557683. Okay, and it's joinmyquiz.com. So in this particular, there we are. In this particular exercise, I've created some audio comprehension questions for you, because you can record up to 10 seconds of audio per question. So I thought, wouldn't it be fun to do some listening comprehension for you right now? I think it's 4 or 5 questions I've done for you. So in a moment, I'll click start, but why not either do this live, or you can set it as a homework as well. So you could do it asynchronously, those people who were asking about that earlier. So I just wait a minute or two before we got a few more people in the room. I did look this up about the maximum number of people you can have in a quiz, and it's 500. So let's see if that's let's see if we reach that right now. They're all popping in very quickly right now, but that's all good. On the left-hand side, I can see how many people are joining. At the moment, it's 170 or 181, 83, lots of people. So I just wait for a moment while you all join. Feel free to ask me any more questions. Yeah, I agree. Quizzes is totally cool. Yeah. Just in the chat, has anyone played around with recording audio for Quizzes yet? Be interesting to know. Okay, I'll just give you another minute or so, or a few more seconds, as time is ticking, and then we'll start. what are the other share options? So there's homework. It's homework and live. I think those are the main ones. There's also the teleport feature, which means you can take a quiz question from somewhere else and put it into your quiz. Right, we're gonna make a start if that's okay. So I'm just gonna click start. Thanks everyone for joining. Yeah, so you can have up to 500. At the moment, it's 270 or so. The limit is 500. Okay, I'll wait another 10 seconds because I'm a nice person, and then we are going to start. Okay. We ready? Are we ready? Oh dear. Right, let's go for it. Right, so it's I think it's 5 questions, 4 or 5 questions, right? So I click start. And it's really important, this is a really important tip, to mute the audio top right. Otherwise, you're going to have too much audio playing while you're listening. So you've got all these different questions. You have to listen to them. I hope it's going to work. You'll be able to listen to them. Some are around capitals. Some of them are specific questions around English grammar. But you get the idea, hopefully, of how you can use this in your own class, whichever language you teach. This is so cool. Look at the leaderboard go. Brilliant. So Diane, you should be able to click the play button. Is there a play button on your screen? So if you you don't see, what don't you see, Vance? Do you not see a play button? I've clicked start, so you should, the first question. Okay, well the question should have appeared on your screen. I think everyone else seems to be coping already. It says so. Right, do you mean, Vance, it won't play? Oh, that's interesting. Oh, okay, because you have to disable Zoom audio. Okay, so okay. I presume everyone that is competing can hear the audio. I'm not sure why. Yeah, so maybe with fewer people, it would be absolutely fine. This is the first time I've ever done this with so many people. In fact, it's the first time I've ever demonstrated this live ever. So it's interesting to see how that works. You can't. So some of them. Okay, you can't see the question. So if I click on questions, so these are the questions that should be coming up. Yeah, so let's listen to the first one. What is the capital of Indonesia? Okay, that's question 1. You've got 4 options. Let's click on question 2. Which of the following words are synonyms for the word beautiful? Okay. Let's go to the next one. What is the past participle of the verb to go? Okay, so here you have to write in the correct answer. So you've got a range of exercise types, which is very nice. Teachers need support when using new technologies to enhance teaching and learning. Okay, yeah, so there is number 2. I chose the multiple answers option, so there is more than one possible answer, just to make it a bit more interesting. So there's not just one right answer, so you might want to use that. What do you think about the idea of recording audio questions in quizzes for listening comprehension in a remote learning context? Cool. So yeah, that's right, Michelle. So it seems that the order that they came up on mine will be different from yours. That's why I didn't write for, say, question 4. I didn't write question 4 because of the fact that it put them in a different order. Yes, you are limited to 10 seconds, but you can do quite a lot in 10 seconds for sort of short and snappy questions. Okay, and they are hosting all the audio for free. Okay, I appreciate that it didn't work with everyone, but it worked with quite a few of you, and if you use it with a smaller group, it should be fine. Yeah, so I prepared all the questions in advance, absolutely. I'm not sure if you can copy across someone else's questions. You'd have to have a look if that works in the teleport feature. So I'm going to stop now, if that's all right. So if I click End Game. Is it right? End game. Right. So now it says, "Are you sure you want to end the game?" Yes, I do. Oh, my mouse has been very silly today. Right. Okay. Hang on. There we are. So, hang on. Hang on. There we are. Right, I should be able to move that. There we are. End game. Right. I think it's because of the band. It's probably a bandwidth thing as well. Hang on. What's happening to my mouse? Just give me a second. There we are. End game. Right. There we are. Right. So now we can see that Naeem came top of the tree. Well done, Naeem. That's awesome. And then we could play again. You can also go into export the results as an Excel spreadsheet, but you get the idea. Yeah, that's fantastic. Right. So we're going to come out of this and go back to my presentation, which is, hang on. Let's come out. Exit, that would help, wouldn't it? Exit. Right. And then close that. Why has it gone full screen? Hang on, what have I done? Let's close that. Hang on, just give me a sec. I'm just going to stop sharing for a second and then just go back to Chrome. There we are. That's it. There we are. Right. Okay. Right. So share my screen again. And there we are. Right. Share. Perfect. Lovely. Thank you ever so much. That was lovely. Right. So let's carry on. Right. Socrative. Let's do this. Right. Socrative. Right. So what I'd like you to do, please, is I would like you. Hang on. I'd like you to go to socrative.com and sign in as a student for me, please. So socrative.com and sign in as a student. So SOCRATIVE, socrative.com, like that. And then click login. And I want you to click on the student login, not the teacher one, the student one. Okay, so socrative.com. Let me put the link in the chat for you. Like that. If it comes up. My mouse is being very silly at the moment. Hang on. Right. There we are. Right. So chat. Well, can someone put that in the chat for me, please? I'm just going to click teacher login. I'm just going to log in myself. Right. Okay. I'm going to click on quiz. And yes. And I'm going to choose one, everything beneath the sea, which is based on the same unit that I showed you a moment ago. And I'm going to make it teacher paste, and I'm going to click start. So what I'd like you to do, please, is when it says room number, you need to go to 29701 for me, please, 29701. And having done that, it should then bring up the first question, which is how many sea creatures I mentioned in the text. So when this comes up, what I want you to do for me, please, is I want you to tap on the picture and then just read the text quickly. And the reason I want you to do that is because clearly if in a remote learning context, you're going to have the issue of students using Google Translate if you give them any sort of reading comprehension. And so a way of getting around this is if you were to use the teacher paste option of a quiz. So you just launch the quiz, you choose the teacher paste option, and then all you have to do is tap on the picture, answer the question, which in this case is how many sea creatures are mentioned in the text. So I've made it multiple choice. So you just click on the one that you think is the correct answer. And I can see that 55 or so people have answered. So I'll just let you answer. Once you have all answered, or a few of you have answered, I can then click next to go on to the next page. Now, clearly, here we've got a lot of people who are doing this live. With a small group, you could say have a couple of minutes for them to answer each question, and then on the next question, I've also added the text as an image, because you can add an image for each question. It will hopefully not give them enough time in order to use Google Translate, because of the fact that the text is an image. It's just a suggestion for formative assessment opportunities. I suppose they could use the camera in Google Translate, the app, and which uses the functionality that used to be in what was called Word Lens, and then maybe the text will appear over the top. But they'd have to be pretty canny to do that. So there we are. So you've all answered. Well done. I'm now going to click the next option. That will now take us on to question 2. As you can see, they can only see one question at a time, which is really nice. I've just used the same picture there. So in other words, they've got to read the question, they've got to read the text and then answer it. So that should mean that it should avoid or reduce the number of people who are using Google Translate to try and translate the text first, and then you don't get a true representation of their language skill if that is the case. Cool. So there are fewer people. Okay, the numbers are going up now who are answering it, which is lovely. But you get the idea. I think because we haven't got lots of time left, I'm just going to click finish now. But hopefully you've seen the point I'm trying to make here. So I click finish and say OK. I can immediately see here the results. I wouldn't show this to the students, but I could if I wanted to. Yeah, can you see? And then I can click here and I can see who has got them right and who's got them wrong, and then work it out from there. I can also click on reports. I can download an Excel spreadsheet with all the answers there. But again, you wouldn't show that to the students. You just use that for your own information. Right. Thanks ever so much. We're just going to finish off now with Shalala, which is this one. If I click present, I'd like you to go to shalala.com for me, please. Shalala.com. And I'm just going to show you this live. So let me come out of here. Shalala.com. Like that. So I'll put that in the chat, unless someone else could do that. Would be lovely. I seem to have lost the chat for some reason. Okay, could someone put that in the chat? Shalala.com. I'm going to click on Draw Room, and I'm going to click Start Draw Room. Okay, and click Conversational. And I'm going to get rid of the music, otherwise it becomes overbearing. So this is conversational mode. Can you go to shalala.com/draw, and can you put in the code? And once some people start appearing on the screen, I will click start. Lovely. Okay, so I'll just give you a moment to log in. So the students do not need to have an account to do this. They just need to go to the link and put the code in, and then we're good to go. So again, I'm just going to give you a couple of moments to do this, because we don't need to have lots of people. In fact, I think I'm just going to click start, I think, because we are running out of time now. So I'll just click start. And as you can see, it says, listen to your teacher for a drawing prompt. So I would like you to draw me a picture representing how you are feeling right now around remote teaching. So if you could draw a picture on your screen, then you click submit, and then submit again, and then all the pictures will start to appear. So I'm going to do this right now, shalala.com, like that, /draw. Don't forget this is being recorded as well, so you can go through the steps again. So I go to, that's right. Hang on. That's interesting. It's not giving me the option. Let's try that one more time. Right, it seems not to be working for some reason. I don't know why that is. Ah, here it is. Right, room code. Right, so it comes up with room code. I put the room code in. It might again be because there are lots of people accessing right now. 3FYMB. Ah, it says this drawer room is locked. Well, I created the drawer. Why is it? Okay. Oh, enter name, right? Okay. Then join room, right? Start draw. Then you tap start drawing, and then I'm going to draw a heart like this. Tap submit, and then submit again. And what should happen in a moment, if it works, is that picture should appear on the screen. So the idea of this, Shalala, is absolutely brilliant. Similar to whiteboard.fi, but there's a few more things you can do with it. You can get the students to draw a picture based on what you've asked them to draw. And yeah, it doesn't seem to be working properly at the moment. Let me just refresh the page. And then that picture should then appear on the screen, which it's not doing. Maybe there's a bandwidth issue at the moment, which is why everything's sort of slowing down a bit. I'm not sure. I can see my masterpiece on my screen, on my iPad screen, but it's not appearing on the screen here. And I don't know why that is. Let's refresh the page. What should happen is we should be seeing some pictures appearing. Ah, there we are. Oh, that's good. Cool. So thank you ever so much. That's lovely. So for example, if I click on the little yellow circle there, which is the masterpiece option, it then adds it. So Nuri has been added to the masterpiece board. I can put in, if my mouse is going to come back, come on mouse, there we are. I'm going to put Vance's in. I can see that Vance is not, Chandra even. Chandra is not feeling very happy about online teaching. You get the idea. So I can download any of these images by clicking on the download option. Wow, that's cool. That's really cool. And I can also delete any of them, and I can add them to my masterpiece board. So if I now click end drawing and click end room and click PDF here, I can download all of these as a PDF. Can you see? Download storyboard. So if I click download storyboard, it will then allow me to download the ones which I've particularly highlighted. So again, for evidence, that's fine. Then you can use that for a future activity. Awesome. Thank you so much. That's great. So, and if you want to create your own account, just go to shalala.com/draw. I'm just going to, for some reason, when I click chat, it's not actually, let me just stop sharing for a second. Ah, here we are. So it's shalala.com/Joe. If you want to use that link, you can use that as a way of creating your own account on Shalala. Right. So let's go back, share screen, present. There we are. Right. Right. So just to finish off with, I wanted to highlight some webinars that we're doing in the UK that the Association for Language Learning is organising, and I've been helping and hosting some of these as well. You can get the links at the bottom there. You can sign up to any of them. They normally take place between 8 and 9 o'clock in the evening in the UK. But if you click on the YouTube link underneath, you can watch all the past recordings as well. So that's something which is free professional development for you. And this is the link to this presentation. So I'll just give you a moment to note that. And I'm more than happy for the next few minutes and longer if need be to take any questions so far. Apologies for the mouse issues that I had, but I think it's been pretty smooth. It's not been too bad at all. And I'm just going to press exit on here. You still will be able to see there we are. You can still see the link, and then I'll be able to access the chat hopefully a bit more easily, or maybe not. Chat seems to be anyway. Right, so I'll just give you a moment to note that down, and I can. In fact, let me put the. I know what I'll do is let me just put that in the chat for you. If I stop sharing right now, that's going to be easier, isn't it? And then I can just put it straight into the chat. There you go. So that's the link to the presentation. And I know, according to the clock officially, we've got 3 minutes, but I'm more than happy to stay on for another 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever is required, because we covered a lot of content, but I'm hoping that all the content that we've covered, you have got a good idea on how you can try some of this in your classroom. And if you need to watch the recording, then you feel free to watch it back, and feel free to contact me via email or Twitter for anything that you're not sure about. And if you would like me to do a